Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on the DXY, the pound, USD and gold. And quickly let's start with the DXY for this week. I'm looking out for basically a pullback from this region for a continuation, as obviously we could see from the larger time frame here on the daily time frame. We could possibly be resuming a downtrend, and at the same time, but we know before these things continue, I'm looking out for price maybe to come back to 100 in the longer time frame, which is like in weeks to come, because we've seen this rejection, then we see this huge bearish candle from last week. Normally what we'd see is just for price to continue to the downside, at least retesting 100. Okay, so if we can see that from the larger time frame perspective, that means sliding down from the daily time frame, we see like price closing with more like a doji, or let's just call it a doji candle, which is very much indecisive. If I slide down to the 4 hours time frame, what else do we notice? We notice here that price is now at a very critical region. Previously this was held as a support. It broke, became a resistance, broke back on top, and now we see price back at that region. So it's ideal to just state that price might pull back a little bit from this region. And having seen this bearish movement from last week, it is normal to say, okay, let's anticipate a pullback using the Fibonacci retracement tool. Could see price maybe come back around this region here, which I'm just going to mark with a line here. Let's call this on the 50% retracement region. Let me see, 50% around here, and 61% around here. And lastly could be this one here. Let me just put the whole of this 78.60. okay, let me see. All right, I will take off the fib right now. So this is what it looks like. So for the week, I might be anticipating price to just pull back to this region. I might not go in for these buys, but if I get a good rejection structure around here, I could buy up this price to around this region. A possible hit of price to touch the downward trend line for the total time, and then we can see price continue, either coming back to retest this region, a break of it, and then we could see price come all the way to, well, let's call it 102 basically, which is basically 102, 102 regions here. All right, this might not happen the whole of next week. Price might fluctuate, price might do a lot of things, but in order to consider that we might be having a strong bearish movement, then price might just not pull back, and we could still see price break back into this region. So if price breaks back into this region, I'll be looking out for price to break in, retest, and continue to this region here for the week. Okay, all right, so I'm considering that as well. Okay, yeah. I'm not seeing, so basically early days of next week or this week we're going into, we could see price just buy up a little bit, look for structures to sell, then we could sell down, continue our bearish move. So if that is possible, going into the pound USD, let me start from the weekly time frame a little bit. We could see how price came all the way to this region. I felt like we were rejecting, and then last week we saw price break above this region. This shows us a sign of a bullish momentum. I'm not going to mince word, but I can see price coming all the way to 131. Okay, 1.31. That's what I mean, 131. So basically, so on the daily time frame here, we could see how strong these bullish candles are. But it looks like we retested like a region. Let's just get 128.95. I won't call that a region, but price stopped there. So what I'll be looking out for is simple. I'm looking for a pullback to continue the buys. And if we pull up our Fibonacci retracement to from this first move, let's go from here all the way to this region here, we could see our 50% region lies around this region here. Okay, lies around there, and 61.8 lies around here. So what's my bet? I might say, okay, let's see if price would come all the way to the 61.8 region, and possibly the 50% retracement region. So I'll close this now. So if we readjust this, I'm pulling the Fibonacci retracement from this point here to this point. We could see PST valid based on its close to 78.60 region, but we could see this region 50% aligns with the previous resistance on support and very close to all these wicks. So this is a very critical region, as well as if there's an extension, we could see price come all the way to this point. Okay, so that being noted, we could now say possibly that we want price to pull back a little bit to this region at market open to this point, or a little bit playing around here, maybe to touch up this upward trend line one more time, and then we can continue to the upside. A break of 128.89 or 128.90, which was the highs of last week, then we can continue to the upside, possibly to 1.30 region, basically. Okay, so this is what I'm looking out for here on pound USD, basically. So just structures to pull back, give me good structures, and we can remember this is the 8 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours time frame, it's more or less the same. 1 hour time frame, we could see a region here, one, and possibly here. So if I could mark up a region that looks like where price has retested before, I could say here, and let's call it both here. All right, so looking out for that region, so I could say maybe price playing around this region here. Okay, basically. Okay, back on the 8 hour time frame. So this is what I'll be looking out for pound USD. If price breaks below this region here, 126 or 127 exactly, 127, I might see price just being bearish that long. Yeah, possible, but I'm just very much bullish on this on pound USD going forward. Okay, that's that for pound USD. Not also putting aside that if market opens, we could see price just continue to the upside. Yeah, fine. If it breaks above here and it makes a clear distinction, a pullback would also be nice. We would anticipate 1.30. That would be nice. 1.30. Okay, that said, let's go over to the last one, which is gold. Gold has extremely been very bullish this past week. If we scroll back to the weekly time frame, we could see how bullish the past 2 weeks has been. And that said, we've just made new highs. Previously, we had price spike up to these regions of 21.45, and now we have a new high that was very close to 2200 for 1 gold per dollar. Now let's try to the daily time frame, all bullish. So if price decides to start making a pullback, I highlighted here as a region where I might anticipate price to pull back to. On the 8 hours time frame, let's see why I did that. I did that because of the Fib. Where did this price all start pushing all that high? I would say from here to this point here, and we can see it fell on the 50% retracement region, hence why I have my price drawn around this region here, anticipating. So we could see 2 possible points where price could pull back to if we have price pulling back. So I will need price to create me a double top, showing me it's time to pull back. If we come into the 50% retracement region, we could continue, come back to make new high here, or possibly break, retest, and continue, right? And the second is price also pulling back from that region here to come all the way to 61.8 retracement region, which is perfect because we've seen here as the previous resistant. We could call it another option for double confluence. So we could see price continue to the upside from here and make a new equal these highs or create a continue above that. Okay, so I'll take out the Fib right now. So let's see. So basically what I'm looking out for gold is a pullback. It's possible to even see price come all the way to 2060, but I'm looking at the retracement at 2120, 2115 region and 2085 region possibly. So with that in mind, it looks like for the week I might be looking out for a huge opportunity to counter trade or to counter trend trade this gold, also counter trade. Of course, I don't really place trades on DXY, but as a confluence, also counter trade the pound USD. If we get a good formations here, like on the 1 hour time frame, if we can get a good structure of double tops here, and we could sell it off or back all the way to these regions and then continue that particular setup by buying. Okay, so the only reason why this one will play out really nice is if price really drops fast. But if price drops fast, it means that it looks like bearish people are stronger. But usually in this kind of setup, we'll see price drop slowly. Then when it comes back to this region, it will pick up fast and continue to the upside because we were very much bullish. Okay, that's that for the week. This is my this is basically what I'm looking out for here on pound USD, gold, and DXY. I'll see you guys during the weekend for recap. Make sure you back some peeps. Make sure you enjoy the week and have a nice day. Ciao.